Actually restart the call. I think this is going to be really good material.
Right here?
Restart it just from the jump.
Yes. Hey, we spoke a little bit about your property last week, and I'm just following up to see if it's now a good time to go over some numbers for you.
Sure.
Yeah, if you're not available, I can give you a call back in a little bit. It sounds hesitate.
Okay, what number do you have?
Yeah, so like how we do offers.
Okay, pause it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So great call, right? I love already. This is a really amazing lead because she was just receptive to, you caught it at the right time, right place. She's waiting for you to speak to her. Whenever you first initially go into a conversation, you sound like you're asking permission so much. Like you want to sound very confident. Whenever somebody calls me and they're asking about my property, I want to talk to somebody who sounds very confident and knows what they're doing. Even though you know what you're doing, you need to sound and come from that frame. And whenever you go into the first conversation, what's her name?
Star.
Star. So you want to just pretend like Star is your best friend. Pretend Star is your childhood best friend that you've been knowing for years. And you'll answer conversations like, Star, what's going on? How's it going? You know, versus like the intro. It just seems like, hey, what was the intro again?
Hey, Star. This is Mo. We spoke last time about your property.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just basic. That just sounds so ABC 1, 2, 3, right? Everybody says that same thing. Everybody does that. She hears that all the time, right? But Star, what's going on? You know, I'm super excited to get you on the phone. You sound like I thought you worked for the FBI. You know, it's just like, you know, and it gets them in a good mood. Ha 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 ha. Boom, you're in. It gets them in a really good mood. You're not gonna be. It sounds like I'm talking to just some person reading a list, which is boring. There's no emotion. There's just no. It's just like, yeah, what do you got? Give me your offer, right? But if you get them in that good state, that's not going to get the deal done. But that's a way to really get into the conversation.
Okay.
And then you did ask her this one thing. You said, hey, is it okay right now? It sounds like you're busy, or it sounds like I forget what you said.
Yeah,
But
that you're hesitant.
right, like you're hesitant, right? You gave her the permission to push you out. Luckily, she said no, it's fine. But usually, sellers are going to take the easy way out. Like imagine somebody calling you, "Hey Ming, I'm calling again for some insurance. Can you is right now a bad time?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's a bad time. Okay, bye." Like you're giving them permission to leave. You know what I mean? So like
Okay.
she's already letting you talk. So like she's not saying, "Oh, I'm not." No, she hasn't hung up. Just so that's one thing. Don't give sellers reasons to kick you out. So already that she hasn't done this, I can't even finish the call yet, but this is an amazing lead. Like like I can tell you this is a really good lead. And it probably doesn't sound like it to you, but from my experience and like this is good.
Okay.
Mhm.
Nearby properties sold in your area, and just based on those numbers, and we would give you an estimate of what we can be offering. So I see a nearby property which is 240 South Kimber Avenue, and it's just a little bit away from you. So they're in like similar condition as yours. They have a relatively new roof, but they have updated HVAC and electrical system, and they have a solar panel added as well. So they are sold for 245,000. And it's the same badge as yours and similar square footage. Um, so so that's what I would estimate if yours has similar situation, that if it's go on market, could probably be selling for 230,000. Because they have the new solar panel and electrical system that could worth 10,000 or 20,000. Um, so And that's been said that, we are like a local investment company, and we buy properties off the market. So if you sell with us, you don't pay agent commissions and everything. So, for example, if you sell on market for 230, and you have to pay 6% agent commission, so that is 13,000. So if I use, and also you still have to pay about 3% of title and closing costs. So you roughly get 90% of your total sale price. So that would give you approximate to 200 net for profit. So what we can do is we can offer you at 180,000, which is net to you. But this will save you all the cost of listing and closing and everything. So we will have really easy paperwork, and we close in 30 days and with cash. And we don't even need a lot of like inspections and everything. So everything would just be very easy for you. Yeah, I don't know, what do you think?
No, we probably we not want to go under the 220,000. We want to stay there or more. And we might be looking into doing some upgrades to the property as well. But if we do like cash, I know that me and my uncle, which they left it to both of us, we have both said no less than 20,000. So we're kind of strong on that because it's an old house. So it's
Okay. Amazing. You did phenomenal with just explaining where you're coming up with your numbers. But before we get into it, that's the very last thing that you should get into. The first thing is getting to know what's going on with the property, her story. This right here, conversation, how she's telling you all this stuff after is what needs to happen first. Because now you can use the ammo of, oh, you mentioned it's old. What's going on with it? What does old mean to you? So you can start coming down. You basically just told her, hey, this is where I'm at. How did I do? Do you like it? Rather than, what's your problems? Tell me what's going on with it. And then this is where we're going to be at based off of what you told me.
Right. So this is my second call with her. My first call with her is I asked her if she's the only decision maker. And she said she's not, but she doesn't want to go deeper into that. So I explained, knowing who's the decision maker, it's a big variable in our offer because it just depends on how difficult our offer will be. But she said, oh, that's fine, I'll just take your number down and I will give you a call back.
Okay. I don't follow what you're at. What are you asking?
So in this conversation she was saying like her relationship with like her uncle or something like that, right? So, and did you say that I should know like her and her uncle's thought about the price up front? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that this is the first call. If you had a first call, okay.
Yeah, this is the second call.
Okay. So if this is the second call still, what you want to do is, and on the first call, you already talked about condition. You already talked about the whole story of it.
No, we didn't talk about whole story. I think she was just saying she she wanted to get a number and she was thinking about maybe listed on the market or
Gotcha.
she will sell it offline.
These are your first calls actually should go. These are your first calls should go. And like, let's just assume a fresh slate. This is how we're supposed to do the first calls. And then after that, then the second calls is going to be negotiation. So, and that first call like this right here, up until this point, after you made your nice introduction, hey Ming, so I know you get a bunch of calls and text all the time, right? It kind of makes it difficult for our firm, just because we like this area and we know it very well. And this is how we put, food on the table for our family. But again, I'm not going to offer you, $200,000 less than what the property's worth. You know, I want to understand everything that's going on. I want to understand the condition, but most importantly, I want to understand you. Usually our sellers, they, you know, want to get something closed sooner, or they want to get something closed later. So I just kind of want to know like the whole story of what's going on. What do you plan on achieving? You know, what's your timelines? And yeah, just, you know, some information on the inside of the property.
So that's the first call.
First call.
Okay.
Boom. Hey, Ming, some sellers are going to give you a whole long story. Some people are going to be a-holes and say, look on Zillow, look up pictures, blah, blah, blah. The people that give you the whole story, you want to stay in that pocket with them. The people that are like, Zillow, make me an offer, I don't care, probably very not really motivated. So you just in that really call real quick. Yeah. Hey, I get it. You know, we'll probably be at, and then you'll do, you know, 60% off of Zillow. That's kind of ballpark where it would be. Oh no, okay, cool. But the people that are giving you information like this lady, she has a problem, and I can already tell. Like they say that they're gonna fix up the property, but they're probably not. Most likely they're not. Like I don't even want to fix up the properties that we get. So like it's like she's just trying to get the highest number she possibly can, without putting with doing the least amount of work. And so yeah, so that's going to be the first call. And so yeah, that's how you do it. You're going to go and get all that information from them. Again, the key principles is understanding them, their situation, and the condition. If you get that information out of a seller, they're motivated. At least they're willing to hear an offer. If a seller's being short, just give me an offer, shoot me an offer, blah, blah, blah. Okay, they're probably not that motivated. If somebody's in that pocket with you doing a conversation, it's worth catering to them a little bit more and staying in that pocket with them. Does that make sense?
Yes. I just don't know, like, what exactly do I say? Like, you know, ask them, okay, like, what is your problem? And
just that, like, just what I said. Like, you don't say, what is your problem? You say, what's going on with it? I want to know a little bit about you, a little bit about the house, and just kind of like the whole story of what everything that's going on. That's the same thing than asking what's the problem. Hey Josh, I'm gonna mute you 1 second.
okay.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. Just asking. Sorry, that's the same thing as asking what's the problem. You know. Now say it back to me.
Or what's the oh, sorry. So yeah, I just want to know what's going on. Like, what makes you want to sell this property, and you know, what is your timeline?
Yeah, a little bit better. Hey, Meng, and then a little bit slower. Hey, Meng, I just want to know, like, just kind of like the story and like what's going on with the property. I know you get a bunch of calls and texts, but you know, we're people, and I do want to know everything about what's going on. Try it.
Hey Star, hey, this is Mel. Hey, yeah, I just wanted to know, you know, like, what's your story about you and this property? Like, what makes you want to sell? And yeah, just tell me everything about it.
Perfect. Way more better, way much better than what's the problem. Isn't that? Do you feel that? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Right. It gets them to talk more. It gets them to like, okay, this person knows what they're doing. They don't sound like they're just reading a freaking script. They don't sound like every person I freaking talk to that calls me 5 times a day.
Right.
Yeah. And it's little things like that. And right now, that you saying that back, that was probably a 5 out of a 10. And it really, and I'm just trying to get you better. And you will get to a 10 by doing that 20 more times with the seller. And then after that 20th call, it just sounds so natural. So your probability increases for a longer conversation, to get more information out of them, and better negotiations.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
Now built like one of these new houses, which is wood, you know, and then plastic, and then vinyl put over it, which is selling at a 200,000. You know, the low 200,000 new. So, you know, this is a brick home. This is a solid home. It's not one of these newer homes that just got built, put up any kind of way. And like I said, the newer homes are selling at low 200,000.
Yeah. So what you're saying they're selling for low 200,000 is they're selling on market, right? And if like think about the agent fee, so that at least 6%. So, for example, if they sell for 250, that's a little bit higher than the low 200 you're mentioning. And the 6% would be 15,000. And so the and then you have to pay closing. And also, and also when you list a market, it's unknown how long and when will you get it sold, right? So if you look at your nearby houses, they're on average they're sitting on market for 3 to 4 months. And just with the recent market trends, and it's just a lot of uncertainty. The policy change a lot just day by day. So close with us, like what we offer is actually the certainty. So you get cash in your hand in 30 days. That is, you get.
I like so two things. The thing I don't like about this is you're regurgitating or you're just explaining so many logical things to her. Like you can use that, but you're just basically just telling her, hey, I see a property here, and then realtor fees, closing costs. Like it doesn't really, you don't know what her problem is, and that's what we got to ask her. And so, but like you're just saying, like for me, I'm listening to this. If I'm the seller, I'm just listening to this. I'm like, I'm lost. Like I'm lost. Like I just what is the number? I'm so lost. Like I don't know, 6, 7, 8%, 9%, realtor fees. Like just tell me the number. If I'm being honest, right? And I mean, I'm sure just like everybody, it's just normal human behavior. Like just tell me, right? Just tell me, right? The one thing that I did like is you said the certainty. You gave her certainty, right? So like that's one thing that you can like position as like a powerhouse. So before that, you after you get the condition, she tells you about the property, right? You did the line where you're explaining, hey, tell me a little bit about this. What's going on? Okay. Now you can say, now after she tells you information about the property, then you go into the next part of the conversation and you figure out what solutions do you have? What are your solutions? So, okay, Ming, thank you for sharing that. I really wish all the sellers that we dealt with were, like you. Some people don't even, know anything about the property. So I commend you for that. Amazing. What I do want to know is what's important to you. Is this something that you want to get done sooner rather than later? Is this something that you want to, put some money into, wait about 6 months and pay some realtor fees? Like what are you trying to accomplish? Or is it kind of like looking for an investment firm, to get you the best price possible and just kind of have like a white glove experience? Like what's your goal? And so
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I hear like you are more like conversational. I feel like mine is like I trying to tell her stuff,
Mhm.
but I'm not like
You're
engaging with her.
Yeah, and it's good. It's fine. It's fine. But like you will, if you do that long enough, you will hit you'll get a person to get you, right? But we don't want to wait that. We want to crunch down that. But you're, like you said, just having a conversation with them and then figuring out what their problems are. And you have solutions, not rather than this is where I'm at. Do you like it? No? Okay, next person. Hey, this is where I'm at. This is my offer. Do you like it? No? Okay, next person. It's the same thing we're doing, but it's just different ways of getting the information out. Right?
Yeah, so I like do you think what I should focus on improving is my first call is how to like discover their pain point, just
Yep.
like they may refuse or they may reject, or but they may share. So I need to focus more on the people who are willing to share and dig deeper into like their motivation.
You said it, I didn't. Yeah. Good job. That's it. You said it verbatim, like literally. That's all. That's all you needed. And again, the part right here, we just need to talk to about 25 of these people. 25 of these conversations, you're going to hit something. Your negotiations are going to land. And you can have 25 conversations with these people. Like, I promise you, right? What was I going to say? So yes, and then now where do we leave off? Yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, just continue, play it.
Guaranteed check. You don't have to like test the market. And you like, I know you're thinking about doing the upgrade yourself. I mean, that's an option if you want to get top dollars. But again, like it's not a guaranteed output. So for example, if you put 20,000 in there, is that a guarantee that you will get 40,000 back in return? So it's not, I'm just trying to say it's not like a guaranteed dollar to dollar. It's more like you have to put in the effort and see what comes out in the end. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like what you're saying, you lower 200, or you're thinking about doing the renovation. So, I mean, there are tons of possibilities. Like the possibility list is endless. You know, you can add another solar panel, you can paint the interior, you can replace the carpet, you can, but the thing is, like you have to think about just the balance between like your invest and return. So when you do the renovation, you're not only like adding money into that, you're also like spending your time and your effort. So you have to
Right. And
be
then
there.
that's where we charge more on the rehab. So,
Yeah.
you know, it's either we making a quick flip and being able to sell it for what we want to sell it for at 220. But then if we put in the effort to rehab it ourselves, whether versus selling it to you to rehab and then put it on the market and sell, is what we need to discuss. You know, and we're not really like in a rush. We're not in a dire need for money. Like we need something right now. I'm like, no, that's not the thing. So that's why we're at
Yeah.
She's at 200 cash, right?
Yeah.
And you're trying to get her at 180.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, that's not a big, like that seems very, very doable. Like my guys would probably get it at 180, the lead, just because of the way the conversation is. And now she's just kind of like, she's just really like on that 200, and that's the price that she wants, and she thinks she's gonna add 20K into it and then get 240 or 260. I don't know what she's thinking, but it doesn't work like that. So it's not like add 20, get exactly 20 back. Like it's not. She's not accounting for time, risk, things like that. But she doesn't care about that. Like she's just worried about her price. So all these conversations, like if you formatted it, boom, introduction, pain points, understanding them, and then boom, figuring out what their problem is. Is this something that they want to get done sooner or later? Okay, gotcha. So, and then the last thing that you're going to do after you get all that is pivot to bottom line. Gotcha. Hey, Ming. So thank you for all that. So what I'm going to do is I created a nice little pretty file. I'm sure you can imagine, you probably saw, you probably got one of our postcards or probably saw one of our TV ads, but we come across a lot of properties. So basically where you say that is you're framing them as like, dude, we have so much stuff going on. You're not saying, man, hey, marry me. I want to marry you. You're not saying like, hey, I want this. I want to do this. You're just saying, hey, I have options. I have all this stuff going on. Let me create something nice. And then I'm going to see where we land versus, hey, can we do this? Hey, do you like the offer? It's just totally different frames. So you're going to explain to her, hey, look, awesome. Thank you. I'm going to create a nice little pretty file. You probably gotten some postcards from us or probably saw us on the, some TV ads. But what I want to do is, get this over to the finance department and just want to know, assuming that we cover everything, You're not having to pay any repairs, any fees, and we get this done pretty quick. You said you wanted to get something done quick. What is your bottom line for something like this? And what she's going to say, maybe she might have said 190 because of the way you framed it and said, hey, you know, if we gave you something done quick, is that worth it to you? You know, no repairs. Maybe she still would have said 200, but at least you get their bottom line. And then from there, you're like, okay, gotcha. Let me do this. Doesn't seem like too far off from where we would be. You know, we know the zip code pretty well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the file urgent. Give me about an hour. I'm going to present this to the finance department, and I'm going to come back and see, you know, how close we can get to that number, or if we can get to that number. Sound good? No, can you call me after work, 5 o'clock? Okay, sounds good. I'll move. I have an appointment at like 5:30, but yeah, I think I can make 5 o'clock happen. Boom. You give her a call. You run the numbers. You don't hit her, even though you want her at 180. You don't hit her at 180. Then the second call is going to be negotiations. The second call is going to be, hey, Ming, I think you're going to be really, really excited on where we got back. I got some good news. I did get an approval for an offer. I wasn't able to get all the way up to 200, but I got as close as I possibly can. So the offer that came back was 172,000, covering your closing costs, your title policy, and you don't have to worry about lifting a finger for the property's repairs. Oh no, that's way too low. I want this, that, blah, blah. Like, no, 200. Yeah, you know, I think 200 would be really worth it if we put this on the market for what it sits. But, you know, we're an investment firm and we're looking for profit, right? We take the properties, we fix them up, we hold them for about 3-4 months, and then we pay out realtors. So, you know, 200, I think the way it sits, you possibly could get that. But, you know, how far are we from that number? You know, what can I take back to the finance department and see, you know, how can we close this gap? And then she gives you a number. And so at that time, but you've got to position yourself so right and so well, so that way you can anchor her at 172, so that way you can land. And that's where the negotiation happens. It doesn't happen like by you just saying 180. Like, you got to hit it lower, and then you start to come up. And you do that offer process with almost every lead. And then after that, then you position it to, okay, cash or novation, which route are we going to go?
Yeah. So every time I would, like, when I talk to the person in the first time, I would ask, how much do you want to sell it for? And they would normally give me a number, or they would say, oh, I'm ready for an offer, or present me an offer. So is it because the way I asked it is not like as presentable as the way you asked it, so they didn't give me the bottom line?
Right, because you didn't have a nice process. There wasn't like, Rapport doesn't have to be built with just off of just being ha ha ha. Rapport can be built off of respect and logic too. But if you have that nice linear flow with the conversation, you can ask things like, instead of what's your asking price, we never say that. How we say it is, what's your bottom line on something like this?
Okay.
It's a lot more, it's a lot less aggressive than what's your asking price. You know, hey, try it. Hey, what's your bottom line on something like this? Say it.
Hey, Star, what's your bottom line on this property?
Just say it verbatim. Hey, Star, what's your bottom line on something like this?
Hey, Star, what's your bottom line on something like this?
Okay, now say, what's your asking price?
What is your asking price?
It's just two different vibes. I'm more receptive to telling you something on the first one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. I feel like when I'm asking like a price, I feel very transactional.
Yes, I can tell. Yeah, and that comes with things like this, repetition and practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. But overall, Yeah, that's it. Amazing call. You did a phenomenal. You were staying in that pocket. You were doing with what you were doing, what you needed to do with the tools that you had and the skill sets that you had. And I can almost guarantee that this call versus your first two calls, significantly better. Like I can almost guarantee. Now, understanding what we went through today, you can apply those tools and then apply them to the next 50 calls, and then we calibrate from there.
Right. I'm very excited to looking forward to share with you maybe what like my call will look like in a month.
Yeah, and it's always going to get better. Like it's always going to get better. Like you look at, it's not the day you just sound the same all the time is the day like everything just starts, like that's when you start failing. You're always going to grow. You're always going to start to try new things. But the key principles do stay the same. What's going on? I want to know what's up. I want to know a little bit about you. Tell me what's going on with the condition. Tell me how quick are you trying to do this, or how later you're trying to do this. And then after that, tell me your bottom line. What's up? What's the bottom line for something like this? Sometimes you're gonna have amazing report for the seller and be like, okay, what's the damage on something like this? Right? You're gonna fill them out. Okay, Ming. Okay, cool. What's the damage for this bad boy? You know, you'll start saying things like that, right? But again, those key principles, and then boom, you pivot to the negotiations.
Yeah.
Hey, Keith.